huh, this is liberating, you know?
Yes. I hate to be cliche, but when I burnt my first steak. So I left the States at 18, just for some background, and I went to France, and where I spent 7 years away from my parents. So I was living alone, and in a guest house of some great friends,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I had to cook and clean for myself.
Okay.
So that was kind of, it didn't hit me at once. I kind of had to ease into it that like you wake up every day and you're like, nobody's gonna tell you to, fill this out, fill this paperwork out, or do this, or go to school, or like nobody's here to tell you anything. You're kind of master of your own fate. But that kind of stuff didn't really hit me in that moment. This is all hindsight. When it did hit me was when I was starting to get hungry and I went grocery shopping and I bought all this stuff and I was like, I don't know how to cook any of this. I never learned how to cook any of this food,
That's good.
But I was like, how fucking hard could it be?
Can I give a little context? When you live with Middle Eastern parents, you're not cooking. They're cooking. They make the best food. Like, let's just put that out there.
Well, you know what? I mean, most Middle Easterns make the best food, but I definitely was never a fan of my parents' cooking. But I kind of never you just don't, as a child, you just don't cook. It's like it looks weird. It looks just really weird in a Middle Eastern family, I'd say.
Exactly.
Why are you doing this? Why? You don't like my cooking?
Yeah, it's like almost insulting.
Yeah, but now completely different. But so I don't know how to cook any of the stuff I bought, right? And I was like, how hard could it be? I'll just go to my the best cookbook in the world, Google. So I type in, how to cook a steak and read it. I'm like, it seems pretty simple. Olive oil, throw it on there. So you don't take into account how strong the fire is, how strong the how long it's supposed to cook on each side. So anyways, I ended up burning it, but it was perhaps, I think it was like midnight. I don't know why I was eating a steak so late. I'm serious. I don't know why. It's weird, especially you're not supposed to eat meat that late. It's very bad for you. But while I was cooking it, I kind of I guess I didn't pay attention to it or something, and it started. I didn't realize the guest house was smoky. It was very smoky.
You didn't even have ventilation.
Just didn't turn it on. I mean, look, I'm 18. I'm 18 here. Don't judge me too hard.
No, it's just funny. You're in France. You're cooking a steak.
Just steak is cooking, and I'm on my computer, just completely zoned into whatever I'm doing. It's midnight, and the thing is, the alarm in my house is attached to the alarm in the main house where there is my family friends. They're four: mom, dad, and two brothers. And I've known them forever, and so what happens is, people have work in the morning, and we all have our shit in the morning to do. And just this alarm just going,
Oh no!
And I wake up the parent. They're like, "What? What's going on? Why is your house on fire?" I was like, "I'm sorry, I left steak.
I burnt a steak."
And they looked at me and they're like, "Well, you got to learn sometime, And I guess it was in that moment. I was like, "Oh man, this is it. It's the formative." This is all.
You're like, it's happening.
My young adulthood. I went through a second puberty in that moment.
Wow, that's profound. Well, I love your story because it's I don't know how cliche it is because I've never heard anyone say that. Now I'm sure many people have had your experience like ruining some sort of food, right? But the lesson that you learned from it is very valuable. I think it's cool that this is like a failure. Like I wouldn't call driving around town like a failure for me. So it's cool that for you, it's like you had this little hurdle to overcome. And you did. And tell me, do you burn steaks today, Daria?
I do not. In fact, very soon after, I graduated from steak to rabbit. Yes.
Wow. Are you
But
serious?
for any, yeah, I'm serious. I made it once, but it's a bitch to make. It takes like an hour.
I didn't know
So
that.
I never made it again. I was like, that's the one and only time I do it.
Is it a French
but
dish or just like you just made rabbit?
French dish, yeah. But I just want to tell any vegetarians or vegans out there, today I am a lot wiser and I am veering towards your side. So there is no more steak or rabbit. I'm still guilty of having chicken from time to time. So.